Welcome back, everyone. We'll continue our sessions on SDEV. And today we're going to be looking specifically into Jenkins and what role it plays. So we will do the installation, we will go through it. Let's get a basic overview, team, of what we're trying to do here. So far what we've done is we have written Java projects or so in a local machine. All right, and we said, all right, let's keep them locally. The issue for us was that we could not interact with other developers and have them also participate in the development activity. And then we said, why don't we do collaborative work? Let's do collaboration. We'll put whatever we're doing together in a nice version control source management tool. And we were using Git as a software for it. And we were showing how we can do GitHub, which uses Git as the software and gives us the web UI experience. So what we did, we started pushing this code into GitHub, whatever we were doing in our Java projects, and everyone in the team is now able to access that. So that's the good part. Now, where does Jenkins come in for us, team? I'm sure you have heard a lot about it, and most of you or some of you would have gone through it. But this is a very interesting theme. Now, Jenkins primarily tells me or gives me a control on when I want to run these tests, where I want to run, what I want to do during or after those executions, and so on. So it addresses that when, what, where questions. So we are now looking at executions of our code, team. How do we execute them? How do we put them as a project so that I can tell specifically that I want it to get triggered. So we will talk a lot about Jenkins triggers and other future features later. All right. So primarily that's about it. We're trying to talk about where we want to run, what we want to run, how we want to run, and anything we want to do before or after it, and so on. All these configurations on that specific job is what Jenkins does for us. Now, the first thing we will do is we will download Jenkins, team. Go to jenkins.io. And you would be able to get your latest version out here. So what it does, predominantly you will see almost every agile, every development team using Jenkins or some similar one to help in their overall CI/CD pipeline building and the executions of the projects. So how they build, how they manage the projects, how they deploy it, how they make sure that the entire process is automated is what we will see. So let's start with the download. There's a lot to learn. You don't have to rush into it right away, team. Let's take it one by one. So you're basically looking at some of the latest releases. 2.24 is there. 2.35 is also there. You can take either of those. Let's take this 2.24 for Windows. Choose your OS that you're using, and you can set this up. Jenkins installation is something you'll be little, you'll see that it's a little different. Oh, it's downloading. Why does it say 31 minutes left? Is my audio okay for everyone, or is it coming broken or anything? Can you confirm on that? This is too slow. Audio is good. Yeah, thank you. I didn't expect this will take so long. Can you try the same at your end, please, everyone? This link in the chat. Can you all download it also at your end? And while that is happening, let us prepare a couple of code that we have, and also let's look at our GitHub. I'm sure this will increase the speed slowly. That's not fast at all. Let me switch team. I may have a slight disruption in the connection. My audio seems to be back. I'll resume this. Seems to be a little better. Is it doing faster at your end, team? Can you please interact and let me know? Now, while this is happening, let's see where our GitHub is. github.com/eclipse test. That's what we were doing, I think, correctly. Let's see. Yeah. Now, this is my GitHub repository team. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this here. So I know that we will use this. In this, there are a couple of projects, and I recently uploaded 2 Java files, everyone. There is a simple for loop.java. I will download this to my local machine. C drive. Just create a folder here called Gen1. I'll put a for loop 1.java, just a simple Java file here. Okay. Now, you need to do some command line executions for this. So how to run .java from a command line? So primarily, what we're doing is you're opening CMD, and you can navigate that specific folder, CD Gen1, and let's look at the content directory. I have for loop 1.java here. Just that one is there, team. There's nothing else. Now let me also put the other one. So how do I get the other file? Cell test2.java. So I'm going to click on it and raw right click, save link as. Same folder, gen2 cell test2.java. So I'll just keep that there. Now, how do I run this for loop 1.java? What does it do? Let's take a look at it. C drive. One. Very simple for code. It's got a bunch of print statements with a variable I, and it's got a for loop which goes printing from 1 to 101 and so on. Okay, so this is what it's got. Now, when we are executing this, our primary command is very simple. We need to do 2 things. Compile the Java program, and then run Java. So primarily it's Java C space the name of that for loop 1.java. So this command would do the compilation for this for loop 1 thing. That's the first thing that we do. Eclipse does this, all of this automatically for us. We don't need to be doing it. I need to make sure that Java is installed everywhere. Java, why is it not? Let me make sure Java is also rightly installed. I want to make sure I have the latest JDK. So this could be just regular Java. Let me JDK then. Java development kit overall, it lets you develop, just not run an existing code. So I'm going to make sure that this is there. I hope this does not take too long. Linux, Windows 64 installer. So let's take this. 162 MB, review, accept. Okay. This is happening super fast, which is good for us. I hope I didn't need to restart it. Java C is a command that we should be able to do for all of these. For loop 1, and could not for load main class for loop. And I think I also need the latest Chrome driver download. Let me check what version of Chrome this is. Process. It. This is 83, which is good enough. So I'm going to take the version 83 Chrome driver. Let's get the Windows 32. Should work for 64 as well. Okay, JDK. Opening it. I hope I don't have to do a restart. That's the only thing. Can't be reached right now. Run. Yes. Show folder. Open Windows Explorer. Just getting the latest Chrome driver team that we will need for testing this. C:, drivers, Chrome driver. Let's replace the file in the destination. It's not in use. Good. Done. That part is done. Let's make sure JDK. And that's an important step, team. In these topics that we were discussing, it will take us to two sessions. Again, on Wednesday, we're meeting up. Finish on that. Where is the other download? This is still going on, team. Definitely, it is the download from Jenkins that is slow. Anyone else trying to download who's still facing the same issue? So it says that it's done. Why is it not getting recognized? Flow. Okay. Now, environment variables is one thing that we can change. Let's see. This is an old one. W path is not it means the Java file when it when we are to create institution is not into the path. Need to add Java underscore home bin folder machines path. That's all it is. Let me open environment variables. Where is my Java install? I just want to make sure. C drive. I'm not on mute, team. Parishuram, you are mentioned. Program files, Java. This is the latest one. We want the bin folder. Then path JDK. Include bin directory for all its take this path and environment variables path edit and new one is this. Okay, okay, okay. There we go. Now it is recognizing team. It was not set to the in the environment variable team. So you want me to quickly repeat you what I did for this? So the installation was fine, but if I need an executable to be running from any given folder, irrespective of where I am in my machine, then it should be there in the environment variable. That you can also try and see for executables from this path. So if you just type for the environment variables in your window and then open up that, you're looking for the environment variables and the path variable. So a bunch of them are there. You don't want to disturb any of these. We just added a new one. And I'm opening now. If I run the earlier command, let's go to that. cd slash and then cd gen1. Now Java C. What was the name of that? For loop 1 dot Java. For loop 1 dot Java. So it basically would compile the program for us. And now we are executing Java, executing the class that gets generated. Java for loop 1. Oh, no, this is something to do with installation of Java runtime environment. Because class file versions up to 52. More recent version. Java is, you need to, yeah, I think similar steps, and I'll just walk you through on map. But let's first get this Java done for us. See, now there's an issue with Java itself. Basically, unable to get to this specific one. Why? I have the right information. Java for loop 1. The JNI check installation and try. Let's see if I can. Yes. General reservoir district installation stack overflow. Let me quickly fix this. Because see now what's happening is short answer. Right click on the class that contains the main method. Click on run as. Click on Java application. Keyboard and then becomes not this might be because of using a different JDK. It's the same issue. Solution easier than I imagined. I used to run my code using control F11, but the Java application, the way I description should be almost just most. It's also a problem, but it is worth a try. Okay, so I've been trying this one. It turns out that JDK 12 instead of the bin folder, JDK. Now let me try the environment variables again. There's an older one for Java. Maybe I want to take it away. There's nothing else for Java. Yeah, here it is. Program files, common files, Oracle, Java, Java path. I don't think this is going to take. Give me a second. The driver, program files. We're talking about common files, Oracle, Java, Java. Common files, Java, Java path. This is an old version. That's the problem. Is the new version then? Let's try that if it works. Let's see. This is the only problem team. It is pointing to and we have a new installation. This is the installation that I need. Where is it installing? Correctly, let me try that. Let me reinstall Java. JDK. And Jenkins must have also got installed. So Jenkins installation will happen on your local. From there on, it's pretty much easy. Let's get this JDK issue sorted. I think it's also primarily because there are a lot of on this machine, at least because we've installed a couple of times, it should at least give me, where is it? Has already been installed. Would you like to reinstall it? Yes. Preparing to remove. Okay. Yeah, this is on. Good. Next. Okay, so this is the important one. I just want to make sure that we're going to change this. JDK 1401. So this is where it is. Program files. Okay. Okay. Java path. What do we change it to? Understand advanced system settings, environment filter, global party. Where is it? Close. I spend most of time in this thing. Maybe I'll need a restart. 1 second. JNI error. The JNI error. That's a problem. Java 8. Yes, you can see Java hyphen version is 1.8. Java C version is 14. Let's see. So, in other words, my program is picking up help Java to try to run. Also, I installed Java 8 and can run from my computer. So now, which are the ones I need to uninstall then? Sorry, team, give me a few more minutes. We'll sort this out. Which program am I trying to remove? First, this list. Java. See all of these. I don't want these, just the ones which are recently. So I'll install this Java. Developing. Yes. Because it's taking the first one in the environment variables for that team. So it's installing this. No, Sandhya, we didn't do any variable for Java underscore home. It was there in the environment variables. So it was already there. We'll have to see now. Sorry to interrupt, Karthik. Should the class name in Java start with higher class letter? In our case, for loop, F is lower. So there is test one. The following application should be closed before. Just open Java. We can open it. Ignore. Go to task manager. So now, just as Java JDK bin, in this, hopefully everything should be there. I'm going to try and get the versions for both. 14. There you go. Do you see that team? Now both are correct. I just uninstalled the older versions that I had and I put the latest one. Now, let's see. Java C for loop 1.java and then run this class. You see that all the execution that we get in our console in Eclipse is now here, directly in our command. I'm glad we could fix this thing. It was only because we were having the issue with a couple of older installations that we had cleaned. Now both my versions are in sync for my Java compiler and the executor. Okay, now having done this, what is it that we are achieving wherever we ensure of JDK is installed? That's good. How to run from command line. So this was the easier portion, team. Java-C and then Java for loop. That's it. Okay. Now let's look at how we do it through Jenkins and GitHub. For this, we need to install Jenkins. So we've downloaded Jenkins. Let's go through the installation process now. And Jenkins. So double click and say next. Jenkins installation. Couple of key things here. So install Jenkins and program files. You can leave it there, team. Destination folder is something I'm not predominantly so worried about it. There will be there in program file Jenkins and say next. Now, here is where you choose the run service as local system to begin with. As you go and have your own domain or hosting, you can use that service team. But let's start with the local system. Few things in this setup have changed. All right, now this is going to be interesting, team. What happens is when we launch Jenkins, we basically go to a local host colon a specific port number. You could give any port number that you want, and that is our choice. So let us say I give a different port number called 1234, and I click on this test port. So it is a port that is available through which communication can happen internally and externally. That will become the important aspect for this installation of Jenkins. Definitely repeat this video once again, everyone. Hope I'm recording this. Okay. Now next, let's click on next. Pretty much there's not too much that will trouble you, so we should be okay. Select Java home directory. So good that we cleaned up our JDK before that. Runtime environment is also fine, but JDK is preferred when you're using Jenkins. Actually, you need because you have to. And then ignore with the firewall exception. Just do a next out here, team. I don't think there's nothing much. Ready to install Jenkins. Yes. Now there are things that we need to do. Let's see. The setup must update files or services that cannot be updated while the system is running. If you choose to continue, a reboot will be required to complete the setup. Okay. I don't think we'll try without a reboot. In today's world, I've not seen many applications that are really asking us for a rebooting. Been pretty long. So let's see how it goes. Did you see that localhost 1234? It's going there. Hello. Okay, there you go. Why it came here? Is it Jenkins already installed on my machine? Maybe that's why. I'll just sign in and see what I have. There are a few more steps I have to do before that, team. So that's why I don't want to do that. Let me do. Okay. Uninstall. New programs. Let's search for Jenkins. This is the installation that we did. It took me rightly to 1234. I need to do a few more steps on the setup. Localhost colon 1234. Let's see what else. A few things here. This I can get out of environment variables. This is my CPU. So I build this. With this. Okay, it's not doing it. Copy this. I will need this a few times. There is 10.1. Let's put it here for now. Next, change. You have insufficient privilege to write this. What? How can it be? Jenkins program files. Let me see if it already has anything in program files. Seek drive, program files, Jenkins. Okay, it's getting things set up. Program file Jenkins, that's fine. Local system, next. What is the problem? 1, 2, 3, 4 is fine. Next. Java JDK is here. Next. Next. Install. Ended prematurely because of an array system has been modified, has not been modified. To install the program at a later time, run set a visit, click the finish button, set a visit and prematurely. But why? Because of an error. What error did you face? Anyone else team who has Jenkins installed at your end? I want to quickly show this, or maybe I'll move it to a from the other system. I'll try. Give me a second. I'm already joined there. I'm going to go to the webinar. Give me a second, everyone. Installation. Let me try installation. I downloaded it this afternoon sometime. Let me be the presenter here, team. I'm doing installation. There's already one which is there. There's no dependency detect. I just team. Can I show you how I do it there, or let me see. Local host 334. So primarily, team, I'll just show you a couple of things quickly, and tomorrow maybe I'll walk through a detail on this. We are really stuck on basic here. What was it writing? Finishing my documentation here. Jenkins installation and setup, port, admin, and password. So there are 3 steps we need to do, team. First is the port, as to where we'll be able to launch. You can give your own admin details and a password during it, so you can log in using it at any given time. This is what you would see. Can you all see this, team? Yes? Now, here is what it will look like when you log in. So I was running a couple of these simple tests to see if it's working on the other machine. It seemed to be working fine. So what do we do here? How do the things work, team? This is your front screen. This is where it all starts from. Team, it's clear and visible, right? Just focus on this a lot. We will talk about what's the success, what is failed, and everything here. And we're going to repeat this entire process tomorrow, so it will be hopefully easy with JDK, everything in place. Now let's click on new item. So new item, anything in Jenkins, we call it as a job. It is a specific task that we do, it is a job. So there are different types of projects. We don't really worry too much. We start with a freestyle project. And let me give it a name. This is what we're doing for job, for loop job. Okay. Now, I'll set this freestyle project, say okay. Now here is what you will see, team, when you look into setting up or configuring your Jenkins job. So you have lot of tabs or length of data that is here. So there's general, your source code, what are the triggers, where is your build going to happen, anything that you want to execute, and post build actions. As you go advanced into Jenkins, you'll start seeing a lot that you could do around it. In this, what we want to do is let us first execute this without anything in Git. I will only try and execute something in my local machine. See, I have this for loop here. And if this should work, so I basically have to go to the command prompt, cd /cd gen1, and then says java c for loop 1.java. So it compiles, the class file gets created, team. So we said java for loop 1, and it's executed this program. Now, the command that we passed here are first that we wanted to change to cd gen1. That's the first command. Then we're saying java c for loop 1.java. And then I'm saying compilation, we get the Java class, and then we're just going to do Java for loop 1. So these are the 3 commands that I will run. So go to this folder cd gen1, and then we will try and execute this. Now, this Jenkins job can automatically do that for us. And the option that we're looking at is in the build, we can execute Windows batch command. So if you're on a Linux, you will do shell, and there are a bunch of other things that you can do. But a simple Windows batch command. These are the 3 steps that I'll put into it. I'm not going to do anything much more. So do you see this delete workspace before build starts? What happens if there is an old build that was there, then it will delete it. It will no longer use it. So I can click on this. So what happens is when you're executing the results, whatever it's creating that workspace for it, you want to wipe that with the latest one. And now look at what will happen. You say save, and that job got added. Earlier there were 2 jobs, now we have 3. The per loop job is here. So at any point, all that I do is I have a drop down for this, and there are options here. Or I can go to the job itself and I'll see these options here. And the main option that you're talking about is the build now. Build now will start the execution of that, and you can see the console output, what exactly is happening here. Building a workspace, deleting project workspace, type is used. So you cannot find the path specified. Oh, so we'll go cd / first, and deleting project workspace. What is used? execute Windows patch command main. So this is basically telling me that build failed. Let us rerun this. Let's go back to the job and let's build now again. I don't think I changed anything, but if I go to the status of it, it will tell me what's happening. On console output, it will tell me that this is. So now let us change the configuration. For each of these jobs, it will show you that how many times you executed, when was the last time, and you can actually go in and see nicely the history of all those builds that we did. When we are running this, it is nothing but whatever it is associated with. We're trying to do the easiest one to run a local one. So let's change this. So to change, you're going to configure again. And I'm coming to cd cd gen1 java c for loop, apply, save. So I can just say build now, which is here, console output, there you go. So it was done much more cleanly, and the same output that we were seeing in our command prompt, we are now able to see it in Jenkins. And that stays as a history of execution. So you can at any given point go and see what happened to all that builds, and they become my build history. So that's the first part, team. Then you are able to run something on your local machine using a simple Jenkins job. Clean? Understood, team? Just to repeat, we went to Jenkins, we created a new item, we selected freestyle project, and once I did that, I have my for loop job here. And the only thing I did in this configure is to delete the old workspace and add these few commands. This command tells me where I have to go and do what and so on. Now, what if the same code is there in our Git library? So we saw this being there in our Git. So I actually put it directly into Eclipse test team. So for loop 1.java, and there's a Selenium also. Now, I take this URL primarily, that is the important one, wherever this is. That becomes my main GitHub repository URL. Let us create now a new job for this. So I'll say new item, and this is Git 2. And again, a freestyle project. We have a few options, but we're not interested. We'll use a freestyle. We'll start changes from there. And out here, we're not doing anything in the general team. The source code management is where we're saying, let us get the source code from Git repository. The URL is here. And once you tab, it should be able to identify that that's a valid, right? Something. I don't think it will recognize it. It says the page doesn't have. Now, this is a public repository, anyone can access, so you don't need credentials for it. Also, you could choose what branch you want. If you're staying on master, you can use that master. So a lot of parameters, a lot of options that one could put in. What is important for you is to know what to use, when to use, and so on, slowly. Now, that is done. This has got nothing else in it. What is there in that? The same test for loop is there out there. What else do I want to do? And build step. Do I want to do anything here? Execute Windows batch command. I don't think I want to do anything out here right now. There are some fantastic, interesting things, team, that you will look into, where you can add a lot of details of how this build will get triggered, when you want to run it, and do you want to build this periodically? And you can schedule this, saying check it for every hour or every minute and so on. Where it goes, consistently to your Git repository to see if there are any changes. I'm not doing anything else except for doing this one. So apply and save. Now let's go back to our job. So I have 4 jobs. There are no runs for this. For loop job C, number 3 is going on. Now at any given point, I can just click like this and say build this now. What happened? Let's click here. Build. So that build will go on in the background team. I don't even need to observe what is happening. I can always go back to do whatever. So now this project is configured. What does it do, team? It goes to that. What am I doing? Let's build this now. Let's see if it connects. And it is basically doing it. Go to the console output. So it says finished successfully. So what it means is whatever it found in the Git repository, it has copied that entire thing into your workspace locally. That is the directory. So in here, now it has synced up with your Git repository. Do you see the file scheme, everyone? Now, here is where I am. If I'm there in this root directory, then what I can do, see, look at this command stream. These are important ones. We will definitely look at Git through CLI more, not just through GitHub and UI. But basically, this is what it is doing. It clones the remote Git repository that we gave. So there's the specific initialization, and then it will fetch whatever are there from it, and it will get all of those checked out onto a local machine. And once it is done, it has completed its job. Now, that was all that was needed for this project. So only one build with it. We can continue to do any number of builds on it, and it'll repeat the same process. Let's go back to configure. And now what I will do is I'm already in that workspace, right? So I can say Java, see, same commands actually. I have those programs there, Java C for loop 1, Java for loop 1. Now that is there, apply, save. So now the third time that I'm going to execute my build, it will also run that program. So let's say build now. Just go here, go to console output, and did you see that? It not only got the latest one, but it also made that happen for us. Now, if you change that file in GitHub for any specific reason, I don't know if you, I think I can change the Java file. And this, I want to print to 501. Okay, and I commit the changes. 500 loop. I've put this, I've committed it into my master branch. Now this is the latest one. So let's rerun this. Again, let's start from the main folder Jenkins, where I have hosted this, silo close 1, 2, 3, 4. And in here, I have Git 2 that we created, for loop we did. For loop was only local to local directly. Jenkins to my local machine. Get that very clearly, everyone. This one was Jenkins to my local machine. So it will get that code into my local machine and do it. How about Git to what it does? From Git to Jenkins, then to local machine. Now, on my Git, I made a change on my GitHub. So I know that now it has to do for 500. So if I say build now, I go into this build, click on console output. Let's see. Does it make that change there? Noticing? So anyone making a code change, I should be able to make this happen. Now, isn't that cool, everyone? Someone had a question, 1 second. Let me see. Yes, Parimala.
Oh, no questions.
Your hand was raised, I thought. So now you saw the second variation theme. So where we have running a Selenium code from running local, from running GitHub code from Jenkins. Now let's look at a Selenium code itself. So here I created a simple Selenium test. Okay. Now it actually should be self-test 2. And everything else is the same. So this is my Java program, correct? So for this, if it is my local machine, I can change this to self-test. It is the same command. Good. Now let's go to Jenkins and let's create another job. And you should try and create as many jobs as you can. Cell git test 2. So now this code is there. Where is this code located, team? It's directly in our GitHub. So I have this in Eclipse test. I have cell test 2.java. There was one change that I wanted to do here as well. Make sure that this says cell test 2. So when we compile, it should do everything correctly. And let me comment this change. Just opens up a browser, goes to ITlearn, goes to Google, and closes. Nothing much. So that's there. Now this is my program. Okay, back to this cell git test to freestyle project. Say okay. It's running. Now this is my repository. So let's make sure that I get the URL once again. It's nice to keep practicing this team. Make sure it is identified. It's still in the master, so it should be able to bring everything. And as a build step, I'm going to execute these 2 commands. I don't need to change any directories further because it is already there in that root folder. Otherwise, you can add that specifically which directories before the time. So let's apply and save this. Now, what we have created is another job in our Jenkins automation. So I have cell git test 2. You can always create this by failures and success, all of this here. So go to it, it's a build now. Your build will start. Click on this, go to console output, and let's see what's happening. So it is fetching the latest code, so that's good. And now see, it is genuinely giving us the same issues that it will give as it runs it here. It says it does not recognize what these what is Selenium WebDriver. Where are these libraries or packages? How will I execute it? When it came to a much more simpler, everything okay? When we went to a much more simpler, let's say this, we do git 2. In here, any of these builds were fine for us because it was just related to basic Java. Now, how do we handle with packages? How do we handle with everything in that? We'll kind of talk about it now in tomorrow's session. Any questions, team? I see one question that came up. Another session on this, and we should be. Do we call executions as jobs in Jenkins? So no, Jenkins, these are called as your jobs. Okay, the different jobs that you create or tasks. When you say new item, that is what we create. Within for each job, what you can do is you create a build. Build is basically it will execute whatever the job has. So if I go and say build now, it will execute that job. And once it executes, we can go and look at the console output results for that. All right. I couldn't install it on my local machine here on the other system. Luckily, I could show it to you on this system. So let's catch up tomorrow. We'll take this further, a little bit more on it, and then we will see where Docker comes in. Not tomorrow, team. Tomorrow, very briefly on JPAC, we're starting new trainings from right after the July 4th weekend, team, with new JPAC, new SDET, everything going at length again. So I will be announcing that soon. We had major issues on the website over the weekend. Lot of issues, team, but we're working towards moving to a good platform now. I'll keep you posted on that. Tomorrow there's a JPAC webinar. I'll not keep it too formal. It is going to be more regular. If you are anyone interested, please go to itlearn.com/webinars. You should be able to see it there. The dates are incorrect for the others team. So you JPAC, I just explain what this is. You can register here. QA/SDET live training, QA/SDET live project, maybe a little bit more further. All right, thank you everyone. That's it from my side. I will see you all back day after the same session. Tomorrow in the JPAC. Thanks all. Bye now. Thank you.